Hello everyone and welcome to this week's game development log video diary, and this week I added a few more features to particle systems and tidied up a couple of loose ends in the render engine. So one of the new features that I've added this week is atmospheric particle systems, and you can see an example of some atmospheric particles here with these strange glowy things that are floating around. I'm not really sure what they're meant to be, but they do look kind of cute. And these atmospheric particles are emitted in a certain radius around the camera, so although it looks like they're being emitted everywhere, they actually only exist near to the player. I've also allowed for different areas to have different atmospheric particle effects, so I can set it to rain in some areas of the world, while in others I can set it to snow. As well as atmospheric particles, I've also been programming particle targets. These are points in space, like the one in the centre of this sphere, that attract particles towards them like a magnet. These particle targets can be placed anywhere in the particle system, and I can choose how strong or weak their pulling force is, which allows me to create a whole load of new effects. I can also set this pulling force to be negative, which results in the particle target actually repelling particles, and you can see that happening here. So, apart from working on particle systems, I also tidied up a few things in the render engine, especially to do with rendering things like grass and flowers, small objects that are rendered many times in a scene and are only visible until a certain distance from the camera. Before this week, objects like this would snap in and out of view when they came in and out of the camera's range, and you can see that here. But this week I worked on smoothing out this transition, and now the grass and other small objects fade unnoticeably in and out of view. On top of that, I'm now using instanced rendering to render these objects, so that like the particles, they all get rendered together instead of one at a time, and this speeds up the rendering a little bit. I'm also using a slightly simpler shader program for these objects, which uses per vertex lighting and doesn't support specular lighting, among other things, and this has also helped to speed things up, which is lovely. In other news, I also set up a Facebook page recently, so you should definitely go and check that out. I'll be uploading a load of pictures and video clips of my development during the week on there, so if that might interest you, then you can find the link to my Facebook page in the description of this video. Finally this week, I just want to quickly talk about what I'm going to be working on now that I've finished tidying up the rendering engine. From next week, I'm going to start developing a load of back-end tools, such as a world editor, NPC creator, weapon and attack creation tools, and loads of other development tools that are going to help me and any artists, musicians or animators who are willing to assist me to start really creating the huge diverse world that I eventually want to create. So that's what I'm going to be working on in the next couple of months, but for this week that is pretty much it. There won't be a devlog video next week, unfortunately, because I need a week to tidy up some of the new code and start planning out and designing some of the development tools, but there will hopefully be a video the week after. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Have a brilliant week, and I will see you all next time.